The Weight of Silence by Heather Gudenkauf Chapter 17 Antonia. My ear aches from all the phone calls I have been making, trying to find Callie and Petra. I've called everyone that I could think of, neighbors, classmates, and teachers even. No one has seen them. I can hear, in the pause on the other side of the phone, a silent judgment. I've lost my child, the most precious gift. Somehow, I let her get away from me. I know what they're thinking. That first I let my daughter's voice be snatched away. Now her whole being is gone. What kind of mother is she? Is what they're not saying. Instead, they wish me luck and prayers and say that they will go out looking and tell everyone they know to look out for the girls also. They are very kind. I am thinking that I should have put up posters the day Callie lost her voice. Missing, they would say. Callie Clark's beautiful voice. 4 years old, but sounds much older. Has a pretty advanced vocabulary. Last heard on December 19th, right after her mother fell down the stairs. Please call with any information regarding its whereabouts. Reward. Silly, I know. Especially when I've done so little to try and actually help Callie find her voice again. Oh, I've done the basics. Took her to a doctor, to a family counselor even. But nothing has changed. Not one word has been spoken. I have worked so hard trying to forget the day I lost the baby. But little snippets come to me at the oddest times. I could be weeding in my garden and would remember how I named her Poppy. I couldn't actually name her Popsicle, Cupcake Birthday Cake, but Poppy seemed appropriate. She had the prettiest red hair. She looked like a little, wilted, red-petaled flower when they brought her to me to say goodbye. They tried so hard to save her, they said, but she never even took one breath in this world. I could be standing at the kitchen sink, washing out a pan, when I would recall that day after Griff helped me to the couch, seeing him guide Callie to the kitchen and whispering something to her. I remember thinking, oh, he's trying to reassure her, to calm her with comforting words. But after that, she said nothing, ever. I never asked Griff what he had said to Callie, and even worse, I never asked Callie. I step outside, and the high temperature instantly assaults me. I see the heat rising from the road, making the air wavery and thick-looking, and the saw of the cicadas is nearly deafening. Ben is walking slowly out of the forest. His shoulders are hunched, and his hands are stuffed in his front pockets. He is slick with sweat. To me, he looks like a little boy again, always so sweet and unsure, wanting to be one of the guys, but not certain of just how to do that. He has always been large for his age. His classmates look up at him, impressed with his bulk, but are always a little puzzled at his gentleness. Sorry, he'd always say if he knocked down an opponent during a basketball game, and he'd stop in his play and make sure he got up okay. Sorry, Mom, Ben whispers as he brushes past me into the house. I follow him in, and find him leaning against the kitchen counter. I reach up to the cupboard to pull down a glass, fill it with ice and lemonade, and hand it to him. "Thank you for trying, Ben. I know you did your best. There isn't anyone who knows the woods better than you do. If they were in there, I know you would have found them." He takes a long swallow of the lemonade and makes a pinched face at its sourness. "I'm going back out. I'm gonna call the guys and we'll go out looking again. We need to go in deeper. She may have gone farther in. She likes to explore." "That's a good idea. I'll go too. I'll call Miss Norland to come over and wait in case they come back. I'll pack some water. You go and call the boys." Ben had his hand on the phone when it rings. He pulls it back as if shocked, lets it ring again, and then picks up. "Hello?" It is a question. "Just a moment, please." He hands the receiver to me and whispers, "Lewis." "Lou?" I say, and I find myself getting teary. "Any word?" "No, nothing yet. I've contacted the state police, and they're sending a guy over. He'll be here in an hour or so. He'll be wanting to talk to you and Ben and Mr. and Mrs. Gregory, too." He pauses for a moment. "We've tried to contact Griff and Roger Hogan, but can't get a hold of them. Roger's wife said his plan was to pick up Griff about 4 this morning and drive over to Julian. I called over to the Julian police station. An officer is going to drive to the cabin and let them know what's going on." I tried to imagine Griff's reaction to finding out that the girls are gone. Would he be worried? Would he come back right away? Or stay there and let me deal with the whole ordeal? How I had loved Griff, and still do, I guess, in my own way. He was excited, and at one time, before the alcohol overtook my place in Griff's heart, he needed me. "Should Ben and I come into the station?" I asked, returning my attention to the man I had grown up with. The man I should have married. But if I had done that, there would be no Ben, no Callie. "How about I call you and we'll drive on over to you? That way if Callie comes home, you'll be there." "Tony, I need to tell you, this guy from the state, he does this sort of thing for a living, looking into missing kids. He's seen everything, and he doesn't know you. He'll ask some questions you won't like." "What do you mean?" I ask, and instantly realization dawns upon me. "You mean that he might think we may have had something to do with this? Oh my God!" All of the sudden, I feel dirty and guilty. "I'll be there with you, Tony. These big shots tend to take over, but he's good. He'll help us find Callie and Petra." "Alright, Lou. We'll be here," I say faintly, a silence as heavy as this summer's heat hangs between us. "Tony, I've reported Callie and Petra missing to the NCIC, Lewis says, as an afterthought, as if he wants me to think it's really no big deal, but I know otherwise. "What exactly is that?" I ask. "It stands for the National Crime Information Center. They have a centralized missing person file. This way other law enforcement centers will be aware that we're looking for the girls. And I've put a be on the lookout bulletin for the entire county. Everyone will be looking for Petra and Callie." "Oh, that's a good idea," I say, my mind spinning. "What about an Amber Alert? Can you issue one of those?" Amber Alerts are only issued when it is confirmed that a child has been abducted. We don't know that for certain. We are silent for a moment. Tony, it will be okay. I promise, Lewis finally says with resolve. I hang up the phone. Ben is watching me, waiting for me to tell him what to do. Go on and take a shower, Ben. Someone from the state police is coming over. What about looking more? He interrupts with annoyance. Lewis says we need to do this, so we will. Go on and take a shower. I sit down once again and wait.